Okay, so my drug is steroids because it has increased usage over the past 3 months. So this is my first time in this matter. So we're gonna go first about what steroids are. Steroids are a synthetic substance that act like a natural hormone, mainly testosterone. They divide into two categories over here, which is the anabolic steroid and the corticosteroid, which help reduce inflammation and one's used to build muscle. While anabolic steroids were originally made for medical uses for delaying puberty or muscle loss, they become popular among athletes and bodybuilders who want to gain strength and endurance faster. According to the National Institute of Drug Abuse, anabolic steroids are synthetic variations of the male sex hormone testosterone, which are man-made. You can see over here that they've been given other names such as roids, juice, and gear for building excess muscle really quickly. So history and development, it was discovered in 1930 when scientists isolated testosterone and developed synthetic versions, which is man-made versions. They were used in World War II to help soldiers recover faster and improve stamina levels significantly. They became popular among athletes in 1950 and 1970, especially in Olympic sports. We have Mr. Olympia now. Also, they became a major part of the competitive sports. The misuse got so bad that in the US they had to pass a Control Act in 1990, which made non-medical use illegal. As the DEA notes that anabolic steroids are now Schedule 3 controlled substances, and they have medical value but also a high risk of misuse. So now the question that you guys might be asking is that how steroids work in the body. Steroids work by binding the androgen receptors inside muscle cells, which trigger protein synthesis and muscle growth. This makes recovery faster and allows users to train harder. However, when you take too much of a specific drug, your body's natural hormone balance gets disrupted. The NIA on drug abuse explains that anabolic steroids promote muscle growth by stimulating protein synthesis without cells. There's another one also. Furthermore, SAMHSA 2024 stated that steroids misuse can permanently change how the body produces hormones. Psychological effects are that it affects the brain by influencing the dopamine system, which controls reward and motivation. It can create feelings of confidence, power, or aggression, which is also called as roid rage in the gym. Chronic use can cause mood swings, irritability, and depression after withdrawal. After every single drug that you take, the brain starts to adapt by lowering the natural testosterone levels and dopamine production in the body, and the long-term use can lead to dependence and impaired emotional regulation after you leave that drug. The National Institute of Drug Abuse states that chronic steroid use alters the brain's reward pathways, leading to aggression and mood swings. And there's another one in 2023 which states that users may feel powerful and invincible, followed by depression when off the drug. Next, so we should cover the short-term effects. Obviously, you have the increased muscle mass and physical performance. You have decreased recovery time and reduced fatigue. Your heart rate is elevated. Your blood pressure and body temperature is also elevated. You have emotional changes, euphoria, increased confidence. But the possible side effect, which is at least 5%, about acne, oily skin, and temporary infertility. Next, the long-term effects of steroids are much more serious because these long-term use of the anabolic steroids can lead to heart attacks, strokes, and liver tumors. Hormonal imbalances can cause permanent changes. For example, men can lose fertility while women may experience irreversible voice or body illness. Psychologically, users can develop anxiety, paranoia, depression, especially when they try to quit. After stopping steroids, users often suffer from withdrawal dysfunction. Addiction. Steroid addiction is primarily psychological, not chemical, like opioids. Users often get dependent on their parents and performance effects. Withdrawal can cause fatigue, loss of appetite, insomnia, and depression. Some develop body dysmorphic disorder, which means they don't like their muscle size on their body. And according to NIDA, long-term users may require therapy to stop safely. The impact on society. Steroids misuse doesn't just affect the user, it impacts everyone around them. Families often struggle with mood swings, aggression, or sudden changes in behavior. The Mayo Clinic notes that steroid-related aggression often damages personal relationships. This is seen like throughout many relationships, like in the West mostly, because that's where steroid use is mainly seen. Nowadays, it's like gaining popularity in like the East, where in Pakistan, like where I've competed, people are starting using steroids, which is illegal, but this is our country, so everything's allowed there. Loved ones may feel fear or helpless during withdrawal or roid rage. In sports, steroid scandals damage reputation and trust in fair play, which makes it harder for competitive sports. Society views steroids use as dishonest, leading to stigma and isolation, and pressure from social media and competition often fuels continued misuse. Okay, how are they viewed in sports? Sports misuse is widespread in competitive sports, bodybuilding, and social media fitness culture. The World Anti-Doping Agency reminds us that doping scandals have changed how fans view integrity in sports, because we can see all these fake bodies being built with like huge muscles, which just like make it very unfair, and then everyone wants to just have that same body type, which makes it very makes the sport less competitive. We've seen high-profile cases like Lance Armstrong or baseball players losing their titles and reputations just because of using steroids. At the same time, social media and celebrity fitness influencers continue to glorify unrealistic physiques, just like I mentioned right now. The CDC's Youth Risk Behavior Survey reports that 1 in 20 teen boys have tried steroids for appearance-related reasons. This is a very threatening situation to young teenagers who are being influenced by steroids, because it's not really good for their mental health, their bodies, and it causes depression and anxiety also. Treatment and recovery. Since there's no medication for steroid addiction, the only way to cure is through therapy. Cognitive behavioral therapy helps manage mood and self-image issues. Support groups and medical detox help restore the hormonal balance. Education focused on science-based awareness reduces curiosity-driven use. Promoting body positivity and realistic fitness goals prevents relapse, like it prevents other people from using the drug repeatedly. Everyone just feels more safer in that environment, and everyone can talk about how their use was of the drug, what makes it, harmful, how can we just, stop using it and promoting it in society nowadays. Like SAMHSA states that 2023 prevention must focus on education, not fear-based messaging. These are my works cited page. I mentioned NIDA a lot. I mentioned the Mayo Clinic. I mentioned all my works cited resources there to enhance my presentation. Thank you very much.